Hi, everybody. Welcome to this launch party. Thank you so much for joining us on the inaugural launch or relaunch, I suppose, of Better Marketing. I'm so happy to introduce ourselves as the fearsome threesome, the editors of Better Marketing. We are so excited to tell you about why we came to take over this publication, where we want to take it, and just some other extra little exciting announcements. And we want to leave a lot of time to answer any questions you're going to have about the publication, about what we want to see, what we want to do, anything else that comes to mind. So yeah, let's start with the introduction. Sinem, take it away.
Yeah, hello and welcome everyone. I'm seeing a couple of familiar names, lots of new names in the chat section already. So if you're here with us, let us know that you are joining. Let us know where you are joining from. So we are joining from 3 different time zones today. If you don't know me yet, I'm Sinem. I've been writing on Medium for over 5 years now. I've built an amazing community of writers and have had the pleasure to work with brilliant creators and writers just like Sully and Katie for the last couple of years. And if I remember correctly, Better Marketing has been one of the first publications I worked with back in 2018, 19. I always said I never liked to run a publication or start a publication. Whenever people asked me, should I start my own publication? I was like, I would be very careful about that because that's not necessarily the best way to use Medium if you want to build an audience of your own, if you're interested in writing in the first case. And yet, I think this is a really exciting opportunity. I'm so thrilled to be here, to have this opportunity to explore the publication, the community, and all those amazing stories that we're already checking out each week. Katie, do you want to go next?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Katie. I am based in San Francisco. So good morning to anyone who's on this time zone as well. I am sort of a long-time lurker, first-time poster type deal with Better Marketing. I've been reading the publication for a really long time. I've been working mostly as an in-house marketing person for the last 8 years. And so when Better Marketing is like really thriving, it's a really helpful tool to me to be able to sort of deploy with either the companies or the clients that I'm working with. And so I definitely come to Better Marketing with that background. I am not a long-time writer on Medium. I am a long-time reader on Medium, but with a writing background. My degree is in creative writing. So I feel like sort of the mesh of those two things has led me here.
And my name is Zuli. I've been writing on Medium. I was trying to find the first article because I think my 5-year anniversary is either this week or maybe next week, which is really exciting. Yeah, I love Medium. I love writing on Medium. I have never thought that I would run as big a prestigious publication as Better Marketing, but the opportunity cropped up, and it was I feel like it was part of the place where I found my writing feet. And so it felt like, oh my gosh, it felt like an amazing opportunity that I couldn't pass up, especially getting to work with Katie and Sinem on such a cool project. So yeah, that's intros done. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about why we three want to do this particular project, take Better Marketing to where we think it can be. Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll start. So for those of you, maybe we have some new writers here, some people who are not as much into the Medium world as at least Julie and I are. Better Marketing has been, I don't even know when it has been officially founded, but it's been run by Tony Stubblebine, who is now Medium CEO, for a very long time. And for the last couple of months, the publication has been quite inactive. I had no idea why, other than the fact that Tony had other things to do, but I know there are a lot of people interested in running such huge publications. And I know a lot of people were aware of that, were aware of the inactivity. And it's kind of sad because there is no other major pop for marketing. Marketing is such a huge topic. It's what the three of us are doing day in and day out. And there are so many different nuances and perspectives. There's so many topics that the three of us could talk about, but way more that we couldn't cover just by writing. And it's just been interesting to see, how much has already been done there. And the three of us, we came together, we talked about whether this is something worth exploring and whether there could be a community and much, much more than just written stories that could be built on top of everything that's already been happening on Better Marketing for so many years. That's kind of the background. And for me, it's really just exciting to dig into so many different perspectives of marketing, and to make sure that we can bring great stories to readers who are interested in various topics.
Yeah, I love that. For me, I touched on it a little bit in my intro, but it's just that Better Marketing is such a great tool for me when it's really active and when it's really thriving. And as it sort of tapered off, I found myself missing that, and like had conversations with Tony about it. And then he brought us all together. I know that you guys came to Better Marketing with some ideas for what the publication could be. And so in talking, the three of us, about sort of where we thought baseline it could get to easily, and then also grand ideas for the future, it was just so exciting to sort of come to that with that thought share, and exciting to embark on this journey with you. Sorry, I have a 13-month-old next to me who I'm trying to entertain with Cheerios and bananas. So thanks for the interruption.
Yeah, I don't think I've got much to add. I felt like the opportunity to take over Better Marketing's editorship was, I don't know, it was under such incredible stewardship under Nick. I think Nick Goki was the editor when I started joining, and then Brittany Jesuit took it again, just did a fantastic job. And the idea of following in their footsteps, but also making it our own and seeing what we could do with it. It was a challenge. It's not something I've ever tried to do on Medium, so I was excited to see, what I could learn, what we could try to do, what we could build, and just see how far it went. So I think, that's kind of why I wanted to take it on, just see what was possible and what I could do and what I was going to learn from working with the two of you. And of course, all of the fantastic writers who submit to Better Marketing.
There's actually one thing that I keep thinking of, and I think it was the first call we had with Tony, where he said, we pitched him some ideas, and we also said, in the long run, we'd love to have a newsletter that allows us to bring those stories to much more people than those who are just regularly reading on Medium. And one of the things he said is, why wouldn't that be the world's best marketing newsletter? And we're probably not going to get there in a couple of weeks or months, but it's this, I don't know, I keep thinking about it. It's such a huge platform. It's such a huge audience that the publication already has. So many brilliant minds who cover so many different topics. And it's kind of this North Star that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, the ambition was so cool, right? I don't know. I'm always a conservative optimist. I'm like, oh, it'd be great to see what's possible. But then, when Tony was like, well, why shouldn't it be amazing? Why shouldn't it be the very top best thing that a marketer reads in their morning? I was like, wow, inspirational. Why shouldn't it? That's absolutely right. That's a good approach to take. I want to talk about kind of our shared vision. And we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I also want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of having a three-party editing team. And I want to start by sharing just one anecdote. Katie, I hope this doesn't, hopefully this is funny and not embarrassing for you. But a couple of days ago, I submitted a story to Better Marketing, and I was like, all right, ladies, be honest with me. Is this a good fit for Better Marketing? I think it'd be a good fit, but you tell me what you think. And Katie was like, honestly, no, this is not a good fit for Better Marketing. And I thought that actually, I still get rejected. People sometimes think that once you write long enough on Medium, you're immune from that. No, it still happens. And it's still like, ow, okay. But it also really showcases the strength of having three people with three different backgrounds and three different skill sets coming to this with fresh eyes. Is we disagree on what's, acceptable or not acceptable. we talk about it and then we come to an agreement. We're like, okay, yeah, no, you're right. This isn't quite the standard that we want to be publishing. Or, yeah, this is an unusual angle. I wouldn't have accepted it at first glance, but I do see your point and I think it's worth considering. So I think that having this like 3-person team where all of us have different ideas and different strengths and different things we appreciate in a story makes hopefully the direction of better marketing. It takes it into a really good place because 3 sets of eyes, 3 sets of approvals, and 3 different perspectives to say yes or no to something. And importantly, no favoritism, even if you're the editor of Better Marketing.
Yes, and if I can touch on something else that has to do with that leads into sort of another part of our vision is that I didn't just say no. I said no, and here's like how I think it could be, or maybe it can be in the future, which I think is sort of an important part of where we want to take Better Marketing, is that it isn't just going to be like an iron door. We really want to like build this community, and we really want to build this publication, and part of that is and sharing feedback with writers about why pieces aren't necessarily a right fit for Better Marketing right now, so that they can take that and either work on that piece or have that information for the future. And I know that that's like something that's really been important to us as we talk about our shared vision, is really sort of lifting the curtain and having more transparency in doing that.
Yeah, that's really something that is important to us, because we all know how it is when you join a platform. You don't know what exactly to do. You're trying to get into different publications. You get rejected and you just don't know why. We won't be able to give you in-depth coaching and edit your articles in detail for you, but we're going to give our best to always tell you, hey, this doesn't work right now for this particular reason. Because the topic is not a fit, because we see too many grammar errors, because the formatting is off. Whatever it is, we're gonna try to give you ideas on what you could improve for that particular story or anything else that you're gonna send us in the future. And what's important for me to point out is that a rejection for a specific story is never a hard no. It's really that particular story that might not be a fit in that particular time frame. Try again. And this is true for every publication that I've worked with on Medium so far. You don't get rejected once and just move away. You try again. If you face a rejection from us, try again with a different story or with an edited story, and we'll be happy to see you in the queue again, unless we tell you otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing the 3 of us bring to Better Marketing is we all have experience with wanting feedback and rejection. And I know Sinem and I especially have submitted to a lot of Medium publications specifically, and this is a sort of high bar for us, but we want to clear it. Is we want to commit to giving feedback and a reason to every single piece that passes our queue. And not just that, but also try to like make it just a few quality of life improvements. So another thing we really want to add on is like, if you get accepted, we also want to share when that piece is going to be published. Now, this is great. Like as a writer, I just love to know that, to have like, okay, amazing. I can expect this to go live, 12 on Thursday. But it's also a little selfish because as better marketers at Better Marketing, we also want you to help you do your bit to promote the piece as well. So we hope that by giving you this information, writers are going to be able to publish it on Facebook or schedule a newsletter out with that link, or just, it's a piece of information that can help you market your piece for Better Marketing.
And we are going to do our share. We have access to so many subscribers who are interested in reading the newest stories from Better Marketing. As I already mentioned, we have plans for an external newsletter that we're gonna discuss and experiment with in the upcoming months. We're going to try and do our best to highlight the stories that are published in Better Marketing, to get them in front of as many people as possible. Those newsletters are kind of the most basic foundational level that we also use in our own work. And I guess the second very exciting option that we will have very soon, in a week is the Boost program, the Boost nomination pilot, that we'll be able to use for Better Marketing Stories in order to just highlight the top-notch stories that we see in the queue.
Although, quick caveat, we are empowered to boost stuff. It doesn't just have to be in our publication. It can be anything about, it has to be about marketing, but it doesn't have to be inside Better Marketing for it to be, for us to be able to boost it. But yeah. And I'm like, that's so exciting for me. I can't wait to help these stories do well, both like as a writer, I know how validating it is to get that little, we think your story rocks. But also, like, again, selfishly, as an editor of Better Marketing, this is going to hopefully incentivize you to send us your best work. Just help see some incredible stories pop up in Better Marketing, which is really exciting.
Katie, is there anything you want to add? Did we miss anything?
I don't think so. I was just sort of looking over my notes. I guess like the last thing that we had talked about wanting, or that we as a group had talked about wanting to share, which we touched on a little bit, is just sort of as we continue like giving feedback on pieces and hopefully getting more pieces, we do sort of think that the standard for Better Marketing overall is likely to rise with it. And so we just want to be really transparent about that up front, that sort of the things that we've accepted in the past may not be the greatest fit moving forward. And again, that's why we're really committed to giving feedback along the way, so that as the standards for the publication rise, sort of the work that's being created can rise along with it.
Yeah, that's really important to us. We've been working through a big queue over the last few weeks. We've been discussing a lot, and we've seen a lot of stories where we're almost always agreed that it was an okay story, but it was not a great story that we would proudly publish. And we're gonna play around. We're gonna listen to the numbers for those to the audience and the readers that we have on the publication. But our vision for the, I would say, near future is to significantly improve the quality of the stories that we publish and that you will see as readers and marketers on the platform.
Yeah, and I know we're going to get into Q&A, but I just saw this question. I think it's relevant to answer now about sort of what topics won't work moving forward. And I just want to clarify that it's really more about like the piece itself than the topic. So we have gone together, like we've gone through with a fine tooth comb, sort of our submission guidelines and our best practices guidelines. And so just moving forward, making sure that, you know, there's like a good cover image and the title is well done and the formatting is all right and making it easy to read. That it doesn't like stray too far from what the main topic of the piece is. Again, just like really, yes, she agrees. That it's really about like the quality of the piece and just like spending that time to really make sure that it's like flowing well, easy to read, staying on topic, all those sorts of things. Do you guys have anything to add to that point about sort of what we're looking for in terms of?
I'm just sharing the links in the comment section. So if anyone hasn't, if you haven't seen them yet, I guess the formatting is a bit off, but the links are in the comment section now. So
I think
you can check it out.
The only thing I'd add, Katie, to that, which I thought was pretty comprehensive, is right now we're probably, I don't want to point to any specific examples because I don't want anybody watching this to be like, oh, my stuff isn't good enough, because it is. We published by definition. If we publish it right now, it is good enough. There have been some articles that are like, I think a more basic view where we're hoping to take Better Marketing is we want to be like at the vanguard of the marketing front, right? Like marketing is an old field. There are lots of guides about like how to do SEO, just as an example. This isn't a specific thing that we've seen in the past couple of months, but it is something I've seen on Better Marketing in the past couple of years. And it's like a 4-minute guide. You're never going to be able to do anything novel talking about the huge field of SEO in 800 words. Like, you just won't. So at the moment, we are publishing some stuff that like is a bit more basic than I'd like to see topic wise. Like, I'd like in future submissions to be a little bit more cutting edge. Like, talk to us about how it's going to change with AI. Like, talk to us about how SEO is going to change with the new is it EEAT or EAAT, the new Google guidelines, EATT? Who knows?
I think
One of
it's
those.
E.
EEAT. It's like expertise. Anyway, yeah. But not, or like go super deep and give us like 100,000 word guide on SEO, like something super, super comprehensive. But right now we are accepting slightly more basic things that hopefully in the future we won't. Just to give another example. EEAT. Thank you, Corey, who writes. Experience and expertise. Love to see that. And I thought that coincided really well with Medium's boost guidelines, just in case anybody was also picking up on that link. Awesome. I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover in the sort of, this is who we are, this is what we want to do with better marketing. So I'm excited to get to some of the questions. I see a few folks have popped them in already. If you've been hanging on to your question, don't hang on to it. Post it in the chat and we'll get to it. Let's see. So T.C.S had one earlier on about image attribution for Creative Commons, images bear notation. I can't add it, Sinam. I think if you can add it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
It's early
looking
on.
for it.
It was at 11 a.m. if that helps. Yeah, that is adequate to me. Typically, the guidelines for posting picture attribution is just something that says, this is where the picture came from. This is how I have the right to use it. If it's from Pexels, for example, that's implicit that Pexels is royalty-free image site, but licensed by Creative Commons. Perfect. That's exactly what we need to see. Let's see what other good questions we've got.
Are you already open for submissions? Yes, we are. So our links are updated. If I just posted a new link. If you go to our submission guidelines, you will see there are two options. If you are an existing writer for better marketing, you will be able to just submit your story through Medium Submit feature. If you are new to the publication, you will find a Google form where you can share a piece with us, based on which we will decide whether it's a good fit or you are a good fit as a writer for the publication or not. And again, if you receive a rejection, it means try again. Send us something that you think is a better fit for the publication. Anything to add?
Solid.
What else do we have?
Got one from Dawn asking how many potential readers will be able to read a boost article. So that's more, I guess, a question for Medium, but I can offer a little bit of insight. Keen to hear what the two of you will add to this as well. So when something gets boosted on Medium, the stat that they like to tout is that 95% of boosted stories get at least 500 extra views on top of what they would normally get. Obviously, there are 5% that are exceptions to that, but as a minimum, you can expect about 500 extra views. I'm hoping that, okay, a little bit about how the Medium algorithm works as I understand it. When you publish a story, it's shown to a small pool of readers. This comes from your followers. If you have tagged it appropriately, it's going to come from people who follow that tag. If you publish it in a publication, it'll be shown to engaged readers of that publication who typically like to read about the thing that you've written about. If that audience responds well, they click on it, they read to the bottom, they clap, they comment, they follow. Medium's like, oh, wow, we've got an amazing story on our hands. Let's widen that pool. And so the pool goes a little wider, gets shown to more people, and so on and so forth. And that's ultimately how you get something that goes viral. Now, the boost is kind of like a layer on top of that. You can still get stories that do super well without boost if that initial pool just keeps widening. The boost is like, okay, let's not just show it to that small pool of people. Let's throw in a bunch of other people who we think are going to be interested in this. Let's see how they respond right away. So by widening that initial pool, if your story is going to do really well, it's going to do really well, and it's going to be shown to a lot more people who have the potential to click on it. So in short, how many potential readers will be able to read a boost article? I have had a boosted article personally that got a ton, like my hundreds of thousands. That has happens rarely, but it does happen. And then most of mine fall into the category of somewhere between 500 to a couple thousand extra views, which is great.
Yeah, thanks for going so deep into this, Zoe. I hope this has been insightful for others as well. I know that it's those weird questions. No publication, no editor, no one else can ever tell you how many views a story is going to have, how many followers you're going to get, in what time period. We're all looking at the numbers in the back end just like you do, but the boost, as far as I can tell and we can tell, is a significant driver already, and I guess it's only going to become more important as Medium wants to expand the pool of people helping find and submit boost-worthy stories. So this is definitely something to pay close attention to. We have a lot of information in our submission guidelines, but I highly encourage you to read and reread and reread Medium's latest update announcements, everything on the boost. Terry, I guess, has published the last update on the boost, what it means and how it all works. Just make sure you're following the official Medium blog and just digging into those official announcements. Everything that Medium is looking for is also what we are looking for inside the publication. So we have another question on timing. How long will it take for us to know if a piece is accepted or rejected? Katie, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So our official timeline that is in our writing submission guides is 5 business days. We are 3 editors who are putting eyes on every piece across 3 different time zones. And so we're working to get that feedback out quickly and committing to doing so within 5 business days.
We're hoping, don't hold us to this. This is all tentative, but we're hoping that we can get that time down too. One thing I have learned as an editor of a big publication is that Medium doesn't have at the moment a huge amount of tools to help like automate things, make it easier for multiple editors to like look at a piece, send feedback. We're building a lot of workarounds and a lot of workflows right now, things that are going to hopefully help automate and streamline and get that number down. But hopefully we will commit to 5 days. With some luck, we can get that down, but that's our official standpoint right now.
Yeah. Zoe, do you want to continue talking about call to actions?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so calls to action for anybody who does not speak marketing lingo. It's just the thing that you put at the bottom of your story. Follow me on Twitter, sign up for my newsletter, clap and subscribe on Medium, whatever. So I think our official policy is that will allow a single call to action.
Yes. I think our official policy is a single call to action at the end of the piece.
Yes. Yeah. I like to think of this from like a reader perspective. If I'm a reader and I get to the bottom of a piece, I don't want to be inundated with a flood of text about what I should do now. Ideally, the bottom of your article that's your conclusion. It's one of the most powerful parts of your story. You want to leave your reader feeling like excited, inspired, they know what they want to do next after reading your article. And having a ton of call to action at the bottom, in my opinion, kind of cheapens that experience as a reader. As a marketer, however, I know that calls to action are important. I've put more than one call to action on the bottom of many a story myself. So that's kind of our trade-off. One call to action, make it a good one, not too long. And yeah.
Yeah, and if we see a story we would love to publish, but you have a huge blog that is promotional and that includes several CTAs, in most cases we'll let you know that we won't be able to publish the story as it is, and we'll ask you to make the change so that it is ready and it fits those guidelines that we've set up. So just in an ideal world, you pay attention to those rules beforehand, because it will just enhance your experience and make the process so much faster, because we won't have the back and forth. Next question. How do I get better marketing on my page as a publication to submit to? So we have talked about this before. You have the submission guidelines in the chat. Take a look at the submission guidelines. You have a form there. You fill out the form, and then we let you know if you are accepted as a writer to the publication or not. If you are, we will add you to the publication, and you will find the publication to pick when submitting your next story. So that's how the process looks like for new writers to the publication. All right, so the last question I see in the chat is related to Boost. If you have any other questions, make sure to drop them into the chat box now so we can take a look at it. So final question here is Boost a paid service? I'm not sure if I understand correctly.
I'm getting two kind of potential interpretations. A, can people pay to get their story boosted? Absolutely not. Just to be totally clear, it's going to be 100% based on the quality of the article. The other is, do we boosters get paid to boost stories? Yes. If we submit a story to be boosted and Medium's internal curation team is like, yeah, we agree, this should get seen by more people. We earn a very small bounty. It's not a huge amount of money. It's not going to help us to quit our day jobs. And I would share, but we've been encouraged, like, don't share a huge amount about the contract because it's all subject to change. And we don't want 10,000 different numbers floating around as they kind of formalize the Boost nomination process. So hopefully that helps.
Okay, yeah, we just got a response that it was
awesome.
You interpreted it the right way. The only other thing that I thought of is whether boosted stories get paid extra. Maybe that's just something other people are thinking of. You don't get a fixed extra bonus payment or whatever for a boosted story, but you just have a much higher likelihood of a boosted story performing well better than a non-boosted story financially too. It's just the fact that it will get in front of more people, will be discovered much more.
There is, sorry if I misunderstood what you're saying, but there is with the new monetization algorithm. It does. Oh, right. Yeah.
No, there is a boost or a financial boost for Boost, but it's not kind of this, you get $20 extra or $100 extra for each boosted story. I was just wondering, because there's been a time where Medium paid out those bonuses each month. And I've seen some people kind of thinking the Boost compensation or the Boost extra payment is something like that. It's not. It's going to be reflected in the stats of the story that is boosted. I hope that was not more confusing than clarifying.
Makes sense to me.
Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I thought that was clear.
All right, let's take a quick look to see if there's been anything else we wanted to share. I think we've actually covered everything that's been important to us. Do you two have anything in mind?
No, I guess just to reiterate, I'm super excited to do this. A plea for patience. I've never edited a big publication like this, and I don't think either of you have either. So we're learning as we go and figuring it all out. We're trying to do our best by our writers and to help make better marketing the best place to read about marketing on the internet. That's a tall order, but I'm excited to see what we can do to make it happen.
Yeah, and I know we're sort of just getting started, but we will obviously be looking for feedback in the future, and we're excited to hear what people have to say about how it's going, and mostly that I'm so excited to, sorry, we're at our limit here. I'm so excited to start reading some of your pieces. So I'm excited to welcome some more writers into the fold.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add to that. So thank you to everyone who joined us live today. Thank you for catching the replay. If you have any other questions, just let us know. I'll be checking the comment sections over the next few days. And I hope to see your submissions in the queue. Bye, everyone.
See y'all soon. Bye, everybody.